I am the anti-professor, reporting from the infinite fringe. The so-called Houthis, Ansar Allah, which is the primary government of the internally divided country of Yemen, has exposed a massive ring of CIA and Mossad spies called Force 400. What's even more interesting, I didn't say surprising, is that many of these spies are implanted in NGOs, and even in the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, or OHCHR. This story is an exclusive from MintPress. They have two articles about it on their website, one from June and one from October. Both are well worth reading and will be linked in the description below. But I'll go over some of their findings in detail for you, because I have not been hearing about this elsewhere in alternative media. According to MintPress, spies were recruited through psychological manipulation, sexual blackmail, and torture, highlighting the extent to which U.S. and Israeli operatives bent moral boundaries to secure cooperation. Correction, they don't have any. Sadly, they also use gay rights, a foreign concept in Yemen, as a wedge issue to create and control footholds of opposition within the country. This was done both through the American Embassy and through an NGO called the Yemen America Language Institute, YALI, whose ostensible goal is to teach English in Yemen. To quote the story again, visas were given to gay people, and homosexuality was promoted through educational stories taught in the institutes. We had gay teachers at the institute, and the language was taught through gay and lesbian films. In other words, the English language. Just to be clear, there's not a damn thing wrong with encouraging kindness and acceptance towards gay people everywhere, anywhere in the world. In principle, I think it's great. However, this wasn't being done in a principled way, or to help gay rights, nor was it coming from the Yemeni grassroots. This was being done as a form of cultural imperialism, and even that was subordinate to the goal of intelligence infiltration. Pushing an agenda that is alien to a particular country's culture but has appeal to a certain minority of its population makes it much easier to siphon people off from supporting their country and its interests and into supporting the great American empire. And that, right now, is the great global danger. Enlisting well-meaning people who support gay rights, women's rights, etc., into supporting this imperialist agenda without realizing this is what they're really doing, well, that is a really evil form of ideological exploitation. Through the OHCHR, the same thing is being done using human rights. The Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights is apparently overrun with American spies, according to the articles. What a wonderful way to bring about human rights for all. The aim of this operation, promoting normalization of relations with Israel, but above all, gathering intelligence for Saudi airstrikes on military targets. So in other words, the Yemenis who participated in this were consigning some of their countrymen to death by airstrike. After failing to stop Yemeni army operations in the Red Sea, Arabian Sea, and the Pacific Ocean, the U.S. and Britain have begun recruiting impoverished locals as informants and spies, offering financial rewards to those willing to trade local intelligence for cash. There are a lot of impoverished locals. Yemen is easily the poorest country in the region. Force 400 is based in Mocha in southwestern Yemen, where mocha coffee originally comes from. Amar Mohammed Abdullah Salah al-Amar, a former National Security Agency agent, leads the unit managed by American, Israeli, and Emirati officers. His mission is to recruit locals to monitor missile and drone launch sites and gather information on Yemeni armed forces, enabling the US and UK to attack. Spy recruitment often occurred under the guise of cultural exchanges, skill enhancement programs, and scholarships like the Fulbright program. This program offers scholarships to outstanding university graduates for a year and a half of master's degree preparation in the United States. During this period, potential spies are assessed, their abilities studied, and select individuals are recruited. But one of the spies was coerced into working for the CIA after being filmed during a sexual encounter in Germany and subsequently blackmailed. The wonderful world of Fulbright scholarships, where the best and the brightest are prepared for glorious elite institutions where they can do great work. Back to the article. On the evening of May 31st, Radio Hodeidah was broadcasting the tragic news from Gaza when a violent explosion silenced its signal. The strike, carried out by U.S. aircraft, destroyed the radio building. Several commercial ships and a Coast Guard facility were also struck in the operation, killing at least 16 people and injuring 41 others. According to an informant's confession, the strike was carried out based on coordinates provided by Yemeni informants to Force 400. One operative, the articles for obvious reasons don't give the informant's real names, had this to say. After Ansar Allah launched missiles toward American and Israeli battleships from Abdurrahimi, Ahmed Balous Atek, a member of Force 400, contacted me. He asked me to monitor places and farms from which missiles were being launched towards Israeli ships. He asked me for information about the equipment used in Abdurrahimi, such as the locations of snipers, tanks, and places where soldiers were gathering. I was also assigned to study the extent to which the local population supported operations carried out by Ansar Allah. In the end, I was able to monitor a number of places from which missiles and drones were launched, a number of weapons stores, trenches, and islands, all of which were later targeted by American aircraft and battleships. And I feel guilty about it. Two other operatives said, "We burned several military tankers. We also set fire to cars belonging to citizens in Beit al-Faqih and the Husseiniya area. One male operative even disguised himself in a woman's robe so he could set a private citizen's car on fire, sending a video of the burning to Force 400. The sensitivities of Arabic culture made him immune to searches because they thought he was a woman." The articles also state, "There is a prison near Anbar that is used to house detainees and sometimes to torture them." According to another operative, orders to hold, release, or torture detainees are given by either Al-Ahmar, the top dog, or the Emiratis. It became clear to me that the information I was providing to American and Israeli intelligence was valuable because as soon as the information reached Al-Ahmar, U.S. planes and battleships immediately targeted that location. I saw the destruction in these places before I was arrested. Another lackey, now languishing in prison, with blood on his hands, not to mention the screams of the tortured. This same operative also conducted sabotage missions while disguised as various customs workers, such as burning military vehicles for payment, a task meant to spark civil unrest that earned a handsome $800 per mission. Now, a lot of money in Yemen. This is something that the United States does around the world. They engage in covert operations, secretly creating an event that will create a very unsecret scandal, with the aim of stirring up social divisions they can exploit. For those who don't realize that such things go on, it sounds paranoid and improbable. But unfortunately, they've done it in one country after another, including inside the United States itself. It's well documented in a great many cases, far beyond the realm of wacky theories or any kind of theories. It's not a rarity. It's routine for these people. And if one scheme doesn't work, they just move on to the next one, which in most cases has already been planned and prepared. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like. And if you want to see more of my material, click subscribe. Both clicks are absolutely free and help my work reach more people. If you know someone else who'd be interested and could share it with them, I'd be even more grateful. Thanks once again.